Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So today I want to talk about what do you do when you're put into an uncomfortable situation. So today, while getting on a plane, there was this woman who was a little bit older and she was in a wheelchair and her husband was there with her. And she had nodded off in the wheelchair before we loaded onto the plane. And the flight attendant or the person at the desk came up and woke her up and explained what was going to happen and so on and so forth. And then she started to cough, and she coughed like she was like really, really sick. Everybody was thinking, not that I took a poll, but it just seemed evident that everybody was thinking, does she have COVID? Why is she here? We all leapt to, this uncomfortable scenario while this poor woman suffered. And I started thinking about, how many times we as human beings jump to conclusions or make assumptions about things that in some instances might are not our business. And also, you don't know what other people are going through. You don't know. She could have had COPD. She could have had some bronchial thing going on. It didn't seem to be like it was contagious. She wasn't wearing a mask or anything. I would think that the staff, would sort of check all that sort of stuff out. So, but when she got on the plane, for the most part, she was quiet. But every now and then, she'd have this outburst of coughing, and a guy behind her was sort of going like this with his shirt. And the people in front of her were sort of squirming a bit. And it was just uncomfortable for everyone. And there's no reason why she should have to disclose what's going on with her. But it got me wondering. I thought, well, if she had disclosed it, would that have made people feel more comfortable? I'm sorry, I've got COPD. This sounds really bad, but it's not, And again, it's none of our business what she has, as long as nobody around her can catch what she has. So it just, it sort of set me off on different tangents of thinking about, when do we disclose things? When do we not disclose things? When is it important to share things that maybe you're not comfortable sharing? Or maybe it's never important to share things. Maybe you don't have to share anything. Or, why is it that we jump to conclusions and make all these assumptions about things? Like, what stories we spin in our heads? Like, I'm a horrible story spinner. I don't usually make it about other people, it's about me, but I do. I spin stories all the time because I look at life and I look at it best case scenario, worst case scenario, and hope it falls somewhere closer to the best case scenario. But in order to do that, I've got a story here, I've got a story here, then there's various degrees in between. So and that's kind of how I live my life. But it's like, it's a waste of time, quite frankly, because it is what it is, right? And I guess I started doing that because I was like, okay, I'm prepared for the worst if it does happen. I pray for the best. And generally I find that it falls within the top 25% of the best. And that's kind of just the way I've always sort of trained myself. But, maybe it's time to look at that again. So all these are sort of some of the different thoughts that go through my mind. And I love going to airports I love going to airports because it means I'm going somewhere. but I also love watching people and, sort of making up stories in my mind about, where they're going or what the relationships are to each other or, I don't know, just like stories about, not about them per se, but, just about this scenario that I see unfolding in front of me. And I don't know, I just find it fun. It helps pass the time away. And anyway, those are all my random thoughts from the airport today. Have a great one, everyone.